What is up, y'all? It's Mini Producer here, and I'm back with another 5 and 5, and we're going to talk about networking because it's super important. So the first thing that I want to talk about networking is, one, be a genuine person. A lot of times, people feel like they have to put on this front, like they're somebody else or way cooler than they actually are, and I put that in quotations. Just be yourself. People can, for the most part, see through what you're trying to pull off. So just be you. Second thing, when it comes to collaborating, make sure that you're providing value. A lot of times people just like hit you up and they're like, hey, like, let me do this, whatever. Okay, I'm gonna keep it real. Maybe this is an unpopular opinion. Just sending loops is not necessarily providing value. I'm gonna keep it real with you. I know some people are gonna come in, probably fight me in the comments or whatever, but just because you know how to make loops doesn't mean you're providing value, okay? So what I mean by that is, when I think of people that send loops, a lot of times people that I work with also have their own connections as well, or also have, you know, people, just ways to, there's a value proposition. If you're going to send loops, what's the plan after this? Are you just sending me loops to hope that I use them for an opportunity and then you get to get that opportunity? Which, if that's the case, hey, you know, we got to do what we got to do. You know, it's just, when you come with value, it's just a lot better feel. You know what I mean? Because a lot of these producers, especially major producers, they're probably getting loops in and out every day. So I just feel like it's good to have an equal value situation if possible. And it doesn't mean that you have to have, you know, placement opportunities for like Drake or something, but even if it's just local artists that you know, like, hey, you know, I'm gonna submit these beats for local artists that I work with, or, you know, artists that I've worked with before. Anything. Doesn't have to be super huge. I would just say have a game plan. Third thing, when it comes to networking, as a producer, have a plan of action. And I know I've talked about that when it comes to like sending out loops and stuff, but what I mean by having a plan of action is, what is your intention when it comes to your networking, right? Are you, what are the goals that you're looking to, you know, your end goal? So for instance, I recently had a studio session with my homie Mike Major. We cooked up some beats. Now, we had a conversation and I said, hey, what is the game plan for how we're going to work today? You know, and having a plan of action. You know, we had a conversation, we talked a little, caught up, and then we also made some beats, right? He already had some loops going and, you know, whatever. So that was already my plan of action. I had an intent when it came to going into the studio session, because I had 3 hours to work with, right? And 3 hours may seem like a lot of time, but it's not. Time flies. And I also had a videographer that was coming out to film for us, so, you know, I had to make it work. On a bonus note, that's actually how I met Metro Boomin, which, fourth, networking tip. When you meet people that are, you know, maybe high status or have a lot of things going for them, it's important to not act like a fan, if that makes sense. Not acting like a fan. Because a lot of these guys, especially even like Metro, they're just living their lives. You know what I mean? And, you know, speaking of him, very humble guy, super great to meet him. But the thing is, when it comes to networking, this kind of ties in with the number one of being yourself. But, you know, it's okay to really look up to people and be like, man, this is such a cool opportunity. But make sure that, you know, you're not too overly excited, because, again, when you meet these people, you never know how an opportunity could come about, or if they're going to remember you in the future. And depending on how you act, depends on how they may look at you in the future. Fifth and final one is get out there. That's it. Get out there. Start talking to people, maybe look up some events that are in your area, and just put yourself out there. I've heard time and time again, I even heard it from Mike, that once you start getting out there as a producer, that's when things really start to happen for you. Obviously, you can do a lot through the internet, but it's also really good for people to know you face to face. But this is another 5 and 5. Let me know how you feel about this conversation in the comments. I'll see y'all later. Peace out.